Hello, it's T with Teaquilts, and today is Wednesday, March 4th, 2020. And if you're watching this video at any other time, just know that it's an upload of a live chat. And welcome to everyone that's already in the chat room. I already have 10 people waiting. So thank you so much. My chat numbers are being really funny. We still got about a minute before we go live. It's going up and down. So I don't know if people left, refreshed their screens, or what. So thank you all for coming. See if I got you all kind of in a drawer. I changed a stand, and so it's up higher. So now I have you sitting in the drawer of the stand. So that it comes down just a little bit more. But yeah, I've had a busy week, guys. So it is 7 p.m. We've got 22 people. Just seeing something on my phone, sorry. Let's see, my channel. Make sure I turn off all these notifications first. And the volume is down, so we'll go ahead and start with the roll call. We've got Judy Smith here. She says, hi, T and everyone. My blocks are in the mail. Thank you for letting me know. I'll also send you an email when I actually receive them. Cheryl Lynn is here. Says, hey, T and hey, Quilt family. Hey, Cheryl. We've got Vivian Calvey here. Hi, Vivian. Maria Meyer says, hi, T and everyone. Can't stay long. Going to Bible study. Have fun. Pray for us. Teresa McCormick says, hello. Diane 57 is here, says, hi, everyone. I was looking for you last week. I said she must have slept through again. Vivian saying hi to everybody. Leetta Bryan is here, says, hi, T and everyone. I finished your 4-patch string quilt along. It's beautiful. Well, thank you. I'm looking forward to seeing it at our March meeting. Who else is here? Let's see. June Hansen says, hi, T and all. Hi, June. Peggy O'Connor is here saying hi, T and T Quilters. Hey, Peggy. Virgie says hi, T. Love my new shirt. Thank you so much. It was fun to make it. And sorry about the other shirt. I'll look and... Are you interested in a long sleeve shirt over a long sleeve sweatshirt? Because I think a long sleeve shirt might be cheaper. We had some issues with some pricing on some things, trying to find a shirt for her, a sweatshirt. We've got Barbara Baker here, says, hello, everyone from Kentucky. Hi, Barbara. Welcome to Teaquilts Live. I don't think you've been here before. If you haven't, welcome. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you have any quilt-related questions, you are more than welcome to put them into the chat box, and we'll answer. I'll give my opinion, and the people in the chat room will also give their opinion, and then you can decide what you want to do in the end. One thing quilters are full of is opinions. See, Pat Bowman is here. She says, hi, everyone in T. Hi, Pat. June Billings is here. Says, hi, T and everyone. Jess Grams for short says, hello, T. This is Teresa in Modesto, California. Hi, welcome. I don't remember your name. The same welcome to you that I extended to Barbara. Erica Selman is here saying hello to everyone. Hi, Erica. Orlise Mitchell is here. Says hi, everyone. Orlise is really sweet. She's on Facebook she has given away her strings to people, and she also sent some door prizes for the Teaquilts retreat, which is pretty cool. So thank you so much, Orlise, for that, and I'll definitely let you know when it arrives. Virgie says, need a topic or question? Yeah, I guess. topic you want me to discuss tonight, it would definitely not be researched. It would be definitely my own opinion or what I do. So that'd be a great idea, Virgie. Beverly Seaball says, hi, T and everyone. Remo JS says, good evening, T and everyone from Bowie, Maryland. Welcome. And Barbara says, I gave a thumbs up already. Thank you so much, Barbara. I appreciate that. And let's see. Patrice Crump says, hi, everyone from the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia. I guess I can't say that word either. Welcome. I don't remember your name either. Welcome to Teaquilts. Same welcome to you. Tucker Nace is here, says, hello, quilt family. I don't know. This is Mary in Kansas, says, howdy. I was trying to read the handle, but it's Mary in Kansas. Welcome, Mary. Betty Harris is here, says, hi, guys. I made it to another video. Welcome back. Bonita Nance is here, says, hi, Miss T and everyone. Hi, Miss Bonita. And Orly says, I mailed your package today. Should arrive Friday. I saw your email. So thank you so much. And I responded. I don't know if it's gone to you or not. Sometimes I respond to emails and then they're sitting in my my drafts folder. So hopefully it was sent. Slowing Down Joe is here. Hello. She says hello to all. Claudette Bettis is here. Says hi, T and everyone. Hi, Claudette. Okay, and I'll try to see if I can find that for you, Virgie, and probably be a better price on that over a sweatshirt. He says you made a shirt for, Mary wants to know, you made a shirt for someone? I do more custom shirts. I do have some shirts that I make. Sometimes I have the shirts on and people see them, and then they want to get one. Today's shirt is my YouTube shirt that I made these when I went to Houston. So that's the shirt that I have on today. I actually have on also the leggings, which has the same emblem as well. So yeah, knowing that I was going to go live on Wednesdays or any day that I'm taping, I go ahead and put on T-gear. Otherwise, I'm just bumming around the house because I work from home. The only time I normally go outside is to run to the post office, and who cares how you look at the post office? At least I don't when I'm doing business. I just want to get my stuff and get back out. So yeah, let's see. Kelly A is here, says hello again, everyone from Kansas City. Hope you all are well. Yes, we are. And Mary is just saying that she's from Topeka. Just Grams for Short says, thank you. This is the first time I've been to one of your lives, and I'm looking forward to it. Regina Connor is here. She says, glad to be with you all. Welcome, Regina. And Orly said that she's mailed out 4 boxes of scraps. She's been really generous to people, so that's pretty cool. Karen Dunn is here. She says, good evening from Orlando, Florida. Welcome, Karen. And I'm trying to make sure I get everybody. I'm reading, guys. I'm just scrolling through. Virgie says, my question is, do you ever sew several borders together and then apply to a quilt, or sew them on one at a time? There are times when I'll sew all of my side border pieces together, and then I will sew all of my top border pieces together. And even when I do that, I might add in a different cornerstone. So yes, I do that. It makes it a lot easier because when you measure your top and bottom, your length and width of your quilt top, you just cut all of your borders the same, and then whatever the width of your borders are, that's what you would cut for your cornerstone. It would be all so much easier to sew together. I do that on some stuff. So yes, I have plenty of times. Good question. And then she says, and then apply it to the quilt or sew them one at a time. So I have done more times. I have sewn them on once because of the design that I want. But I have sewn all of my borders together too, because sometimes I like that design element. Eric Oda is in the house. He's already cutting up. Doris O is here. She says she's from Glen Allen, Virginia. Hello, everyone. I had a great time at the Mid-Atlantic Quilt Show. They are so much fun. I'm looking forward to next month going to Paducah, Kentucky Quilt Show. So looking forward to it. We also have a local quilt show the third Saturday of the month here in the St. Louis metropolitan area. We always have some guild that puts on a show, usually on National Quilting Day. So I'm looking forward to that too. Kelly, she's talking to somebody else. I'm not going to do that. And Ollie says, I still have a huge tote left of freezer bags filled with crumbs. Camille Anderson is here saying hi, T and all. Angela Stringer says, hi, T and Scrappers. What is a crumb quilt? I got plenty of types of crumb quilts on my YouTube channel, but basically you're just sewing whatever scraps you have. They don't even have to match up. They can be at angles. They can be curved piece. It doesn't matter how you sew it. You don't have to sew a 1/4 inch seam. And then you just keep adding pieces to it until you get it big enough that you can either cut a square out of it or you can make half square triangles with them. You can do whatever you want with them when you're done. But I have a lot of videos explaining crumb quilts in detail. So if you don't know what a crumb quilt is, I would almost recommend you leave the live and go Google that. But not really. Don't leave, Angela. Oh, gosh. But that's one of my favorite things to do because it's like thoughtless quilting. Hey, Tiffany. Tiffany's Quilting Life is here. Lisa Peg says, hi, T. I'm late. You're not late. We're just doing roll call. We haven't gone through anything yet. I don't have a whole lot on my actual agenda. I'm just going to give you what I've done in a week and what I plan to do in the upcoming week. Camille Anderson is here. Linda Price says, hello, T and everyone. Let's see. A lot of you guys are talking to each other. I like that. I'm almost at the bottom. And she says, Camille says, I'm late because I had to eat dinner. James is doing the dishes. And you know what? I haven't eaten anything all day and realized it about 6 o'clock and had my husband run out to give me some Panda Express. And I ate about 4 forks of rice. I am starving, but I want to come do this live. And I figured if I ate the whole meal, that I would probably be asleep and wouldn't make the live. So, yeah, I've been busy working all day. And Ollie's is also adding that she started cutting into her too pretty to cut yardage. She's crying and cutting, and she's making scraps. I just love it. Camille says, if my scraps are too small to go in the crumb quilts, I put them in a bag for dog beds. And I actually collect, because I'm a Longarm quilter, I also collect any excess batting that my customers don't want, like when the quilts are trimmed or taken off my Longarm. I go ahead and donate all of that as well. I donate my battings, and I even put threads, everything in there. And when you stuff them into dog beds, it doesn't even have to be 100% cotton. So any material I come across from Facebook Marketplace or somebody donating fabric to me, I never turn down any fabric because I know that every piece of fabric can be used because of them needing those dog beds, and they need them for those extra large dogs. People tend not to donate the large dog beds. So yes, so that's a good addition, Camille. And Erica says, I hope you show your rail fence. I like it a lot. I'm not going to show it in here because I don't even have a lot of space here, but I do have on my to-do list to talk about that. I made the Jelly Roll rail fence quilt, and that video is already live, and I actually, I'm skipping a little bit, so I'll just come back to that, but I do have a video on that I really like it. Bonita is reminding everybody to thumbs up. Thank you so much, Miss Bonita. Sharice Fofi says, hi everyone. Thanks T for the retreat video. It looks like so much fun. Beautiful projects and quilts. And thank you all so much for watching that video. For some reason, that video has more views than any other retreat video I've ever uploaded. And it's the longest video for retreat I've ever uploaded with an hour-long show and tell. So, yeah. A lot of people watched that. So, thank you all so much. And Kelly A says, really like the Real Fence video, T. Well, thank you so much, Miss Kelly. And Kevin the Quilter is in the house, guys. He's been MIA of work and just busy scheduling life. He says, hey, T Quilters, and our lovely, beautiful queen of scraps. Hey, friend. And, yes. So I'm glad he's in here. Now that Kevin's in the house, we have decided that we are going to Houston again this year. So it looks like Houston's going to be our place to be in November. So, of course, I'll do some sort of meetup that we'll talk about way much later in this video. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and talk about what I did this week. Videotaping. I did a lot of videotaping this week. I did February finishes. I just need to edit the video to get it uploaded, and I am going to do that. I'm going to edit another mini album series so I can give them the first step, which is another thing that I've been working on. I took one whole day and recorded me doing the mini album, and then I'm going to upload it in series because it's a long video and I'm going to have to cut some of it out and maybe speed forward through some of it. But today I uploaded what you need to make a mini album, and I know a lot of you quilters are not paper crafters, but there were a few of you that wanted it. So I did it for you guys. And part 1 is live, went live today. And part 2, I'm in the process is spooling into my editor right now. And then once I edit part 2, which is making your outer binder from the chipboard, I am going to edit the February finishes video. So I'm hoping that at least those 2 videos will be up by next Wednesday. That's my goal. I got a busy week coming up this week as well. I also want to talk about the Jelly Roll Rail Fence that I edited and made live in the past week. If you have not watched that video and you want to know what to do with jelly rolls, that is a great video for you to go watch. That video does require you to have 2 light strips, 2 jelly rolls that are double, at least 9 sets. However, if you've got a jelly roll where they're very similar, then you don't have to worry about having those 2 pieces that match. Because I know I've got some jelly rolls where the coloring is very similar that it wouldn't make any big difference if I put a different fabric on the outside. The other thing that I did was I went, as far as videotaping, I went to the Facebook Marketplace. I've told you all about the Facebook Marketplace. I'm always out there just looking. I punch in here and there. Sometimes I may not go out there for a month or 2, and other times I search it 3 or 4 times every day when it's on my mind. And this time I was searching it 3 or 4 times every day that it was on my mind. And I came across somebody that was getting rid of a quilting stash. I don't know if it was from a parent or whatever, but it was, the pictures looked like the house was huge. They had large furniture items that they were selling as well. But I bought some fabric. The fabric that I really wanted was gone in like 20 minutes because for quilting fabric, it's real difficult to get notified when it goes live because I don't want to get all of the people that are selling it from quilt shops. So that's one of those ones that's real hard for me to get live. But I did find quilt fabric that I have already recorded a haul video, and in that same haul video I also bought a sewing machine, and I just did both of those on that one haul video from Facebook Marketplace. It's been recorded. I need to edit it. Why did I buy a sewing machine? Because we're having people come from out of town for the Teaquilts retreat in June, and we're going to need sewing machines that people can use. So I'm hoping that I can find reasonably priced sewing machines on Facebook Marketplace And then if they're not working, maybe I can take them to my sewing machine repair guy. He'll charge me. If it's an old style machine, he can probably fix it for 50 bucks or so. So that's why I'm kind of looking for sewing machines. I need to still check this one out though before I go any further. Just want to make sure I got that part done. Also, part of the mini albums, I told you all that I spent the whole day recording. I did that on last Saturday, February 29th. I now have made 13 binders, guys. 13 of those little albums. What do I need to do? I need to finish my taxes for me, my brother, my mother, and my sister. I started mine. I put my brother's in, but then he had half of his information was missing because he didn't have his wife's information. So I had to stop both of ours, and that's been over a month ago, and I still have not gone back and done those taxes. I need to do that within the next week. I am currently machine quilting a customer's quilt, and I just want to talk, if you're a long armor, or since you all may take some of your quilt tops to long armors, I do have a customer. It's a lady. She's aging. She's in her 90s, and she used to be a very precise piecer, and so I just know that you will be getting some issues sometimes when you get customers' quilts. And you know, I really look for, when I get a customer's quote, I look to make sure that all the seams are intact, because if something's wrong, I don't want them to say that I did it on my long arm. And I actually looked over her quilt with her before she even left my presence, so she's aware of everything that we're doing, and she doesn't mind paying extra to get all the stuff done that she needs, because her eyesight isn't very good at 90s. Okay, so that's why she even doesn't quilt her own quilts anymore. She just said it's just hard for her to see right now. So just be aware that when you're getting customer quilts, to make sure that, you know, that there are no holes. Make sure that they pulled out all the pins, because I even found pins, because that can damage your quilting machines. And I even know people that quilt on their regular sewing machines for people. So just anybody that's quilting for people, just make sure that you check for seams and pins. Really important. And then she also pays me to do any repairs. She pays me to, if her backings aren't long enough, which most times they're not, she pays me to make them bigger. And then she, of course, pays for the quilting. And now she's even to the point now where she doesn't want to do the binding anymore. So she's been paying me for the binding as well. So just wanted to touch on that. And then I also have some other customer quilts that are in line to be quilted as well. Those need to be done hopefully by the 3rd Thursday of the month. If not, they can be done by the 4th Saturday of the month, when I'll see these people twice a month. So, and I normally give people like a month to get their quilts done, because I just kind of rotate them in with my regular busy schedule. So that's kind of what's been going on in my week. The only thing that I have that I can show you is just binders and the albums that I've made. And so, and I did use, in the video, I used the paper pad that I got from Bonita. So thank you so much for the paper pad. It's already, one of them's already gone, just about. So let me go through here and look at these comments. I see my brother has made it in. He says, hey sis, I'm here. And he says hi to everyone. Hello, hello. I hope to be seeing you one day with your taxes, you know, real soon. I'm trying to go back and make sure I haven't missed anybody. Let's see. And Camille's hoping that she'll be able to get to the post office next week to mail her blocks. I'm going to skip the comments where you all are talking to each other. And Kevin, the quilter, is reminding everybody to watch out, Houston. That's right. Kelly A says, I'm done sewing all my blocks for the swap. Just have to write my name, city, state on about half of them, and then I'll be ready to mail them to you. Woohoo! Yes, indeed, honey. And when you get something that's a big task off your list, it is a woohoo. Joyce Rockamore is here. She says, hello, T. Hello from Texas. How's my quilting family? I'm actually better today. I actually was having some weird stomach aches, and that's why I haven't been really paying attention to food. But for like a couple of days, my stomach was hurting really bad. And there was no reason for it, which was weird. But today, it just magically went away. Amazing. I'm happy though. Peggy says, love your jelly roll video. I hope to make one when I get the time. It was really, really a super fast project. But knowing Miss Peggy, she'll be futzing over which fabric goes next to which fabric for a long time. So I guess it would take you longer, Peggy. But if you have a good jelly roll that you like, that is a perfect pattern to just mix them up and get it going. And Joyce is feeling groovy. Uh-oh. And we got Teresa Louise, I Quilt Too, says, hi, Al. Hi, Teresa. Welcome to the channel. If you're not subscribers, all my new people, go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell. We go live on Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, unless something else comes up, like if I'm teaching. I also do lectures for Quilt Guilds and workshops for Quilt Guilds. And then I travel to some quilt shows. Not as much as I'd like to. Tiffany's loading a long arm while she's watching. If you got quilt related questions, please go ahead and pop those into the chat box because I don't have an agenda today. And I'm not going to read comments where you all are commenting to each other. If I skipped your comment, just go ahead and plop it back into the chat box again and I'll try to get to it later. And Kevin talking about Mike says hi too, laughing out loud. Oh, and Abby too. I know what Mike said. That's why he's laughing out loud. But I love Abby. Okay, I love Mike this much. And Tiffany has finished her blocks. Just need another fabric pen since mine ran out to finish the name on them. That's funny. I didn't have my pen run out, so that was pretty good. And I didn't necessarily go buy a new one, so I guess I was just lucky. I didn't even think about that. Kim Burrs is here. Angela Stringer talking about pregnant. Girl, do you see all this gray hair? If I came up pregnant, I got a problem. And so with that kid. Woo, I have my nephew. He's in 3rd grade. I get him every morning. My niece, so it's my great nephew. My niece brings him by. And I'm telling you, when we go to family events, everybody says, you know, that he's a good kid, he's quiet and all of that kind of stuff. But I'm telling you, it's them quiet ones you gotta watch because he is fascinated with all of my tools and projects. And I'm telling you, no matter how many times I've said, don't touch my stuff, I come back, my stuff's moved and stuff is missing. And so, yeah, I have to get on him. I have to like kind of threaten him with death sometimes just to keep him from messing with my stuff. So if I was gonna be a new mama at this age in my life, I think I would hurt myself probably. I'm just kidding. I am not suicidal. I worked for the Department of Mental Health, but so I do understand suicidal threats and stuff. But yeah, it was just funny. I'm like, oh my God, I can't deal with kids every day. And I'm just glad that I have him for an hour in the morning and then about an hour to an hour and a half in the afternoons. So, yeah. And Mary says, me too, T, but I work with 500 elementary kids every day, so I'm always getting some kind of bug. Oh, my gosh. And you got to be careful now working at schools with this coronavirus stuff coming around. So, but yeah. Now I got somebody calling me on my cell. Let me decline that. Let's see. Betty says, I want to know an easy way to make the shoe fly for my son-in-law. Shoe fly block is really a simple block. You can just strip piece part of it, and then you're just making half square triangles where you can either die cut. If you've got a die cut machine, you can die cut half square triangles. If not, you can paper piece half square triangles. And then it just depends on if you're making it from 1 or 2 or 3 fabrics, or if you're going to make it from scraps. You know, scraps is a lot. People think that scrap quilts are easier and should be cheaper, especially people that don't quilt. They think those quilts should be cheaper if they're going to buy it because it's a scrap quilt and it's all your leftovers, but they don't understand that you've touched a gazillion fabrics and it takes a whole lot longer to make a scrap quilt than it does to make one out of yardage. But yeah, it just depends, Betty. So to me, I would use some kind of, if I was making half square triangles for a lot of blocks for shoe fly, I would use some kind of, I forget what you call it, like triangles on a roll. They have triangles on a roll, have half square triangles that you can make, but I actually use triangulations, which I bought on a CD. But that's what I would do, and I would put this piece of paper, you print it out from the CD, and then you put it on top of your 2 layers of fabric, and then you stitch on the lines, and then you cut on, you stitch on the dotted lines, you cut on the solid lines. But triangles on a roll is the same thing too. Pam Roberson says, hello, T and everyone. Hi, Pam. Welcome. Let's see. Go away, Kevin. Talking about Immaculate Conception. Lisa Pegg says, come to Indiana. Girl, I wish. I only got so much money. You know, I don't make big bucks on YouTube. I wish. Phyllis Garner is here, says, hi, T and everyone. Hi, Phyllis. Welcome. And Angela's jokingly says, it doesn't happen in your hair, T. I'm letting you know about my hair because all this gray hair signifies age, girl. Carolyn Bowser is here saying, hi, T and all. Hi, Carolyn. Welcome. And Peggy had to admit that she would be fussy with fabric placement, so yes, it will take me longer. You remind me of Deborah Hammond, Peggy. She's also fussy about fabric. Jennifer is here. She says, hi, T and everyone. Hi, Jennifer. Slowing Down Joe says, looking for a 2-inch strip of 1930s green. Can anyone help? I don't have any 1930s fabric. It's just, it wasn't like my style, and then whatever I had, I think I have it in like a UFO project where I tend to use it all, and then I just put the project up when I've done all my piecing. So I don't even have scraps. I probably used the scraps in crumb quilts a long time ago. So I can't help you. Angela, who are we giving a project to? And she said, Aunt Tiffany saying that she gets the girls daily and they love to mess in her quilting room. It's good for education. And even when I was doing, I had taught him how to make some cards from some of my scrapbooking supplies. And then he thinks the next day that he can come in, and now that he worked with them once, that he can continue to work with my stuff. And I'm like, no, you can't do that. So I just stopped doing any education with him because it's the quiet ones. And they're quiet because they're busy mucking around in your stuff, okay? That's why they're quiet. But I had to talk to his mama about him, and she's been talking to him too because she said she didn't know that. But see, she doesn't have a whole, she does some crafting, but she doesn't have a whole lot of crafting stuff like what I have around her house. So this is all new to him. He walked in one day and saw my machine was sewing by itself. And I looked at him and I said, if you touch that machine, you're going to die. You just know it, okay? Because he was really looking at that and he was fascinated. I was like, oh my God. Here we go again. L. Middleton says, good evening. Hello, welcome. And Diane saying, did they figure out where the virus came from? Nope. I just know that they said that they were bringing all people back into the United States in Detroit. But then I heard in some news thing that some flight attendant also had caught the virus. And then if a flight attendant had it, ain't no telling who got it after that. That's all that I know. And Jennifer says, I'm separating fabric squares and sample blocks. Some I am giving, I'm assuming, away. Kevin says, amen on the scrap. Quit the scrap quilt taking longer. I want everything different in my scrap quilt, and he is a little different about that. Me, I don't like them being used more than 4 times, and if Kevin can help it, he don't want it more than once, but I do 4 because I don't want to be futzing over it. Angela says, go on the internet and get him something. I'll come back to that when I get there. Bonita says, takes a long time to make scrap blocks too. Yes, it does. Unless they're strings or crumbs, because those can actually go pretty fast because you don't have to worry about the 1/4 inch seam. But if you're doing other piece scrap blocks, and that's what she's talking about with the shoe fly, then yes, it takes, and that's what I was telling her, that scrap quilts take longer. So that would be starting with the blocks. And Betty is saying thank you. You're more than welcome. And Chris says, have the baby separate the scraps by color. My scraps are already sorted by color. Angela says, Mary Dickey has a YouTube video on how to make multiple half square triangles. June says, Bonita, yes it does. What a mess as well. Peggy asks, do you have any suggestions on how to cut lengthwise of 3 yards of fabric? I have a stripe I want to use for a 2-inch inner border for my bear paw quilts. I don't have that in here because I do most of my cutting. 99% of my cutting is done on the long arm, but I happen to have a very long ruler that is actually like 35 inches long, and I think it's by Ofa. I think it's Ofa or Olifa. I can't remember which one of the companies it is on that ruler. I've had it since I started quilting. That's how old that ruler is. And it has a lip on the underside. And what the lip did was when you pushed the lip up, it would be up against the edge of your folded seam or the edge of your fabric. However, it's 35 inches long. So if I have 3 yards of fabric, I tend to fold it 2 or 3 times, and then I'll make sure that I use a 60mm rotary cutter when I'm cutting that many layers folded together, because I could be cutting 4 to 6 layers of fabric, and then I cut lengthwise. If my border, my final border is on the outside of my quilt, I cut my border in lengthwise strips. So let's say I only have a 2-inch piece of fabric, so 2 yard piece of fabric, which is 72 inches, but I have a quilt that's 96 inches. I will still cut my borders lengthwise. Say I wanted a 6-inch finished border, so I'll cut 6.5-inch strips across that whole lengthwise, and then I will sew them together to connect them. I like on the outside of my quilt having the lengthwise border. To me, it's more stable. It's easier to pin onto a long arm. However, I am one of those people that do a lot of scrap borders, so it doesn't have to be. But if you put a scrap border on your quilt, say you put a string border on the edge of your quilt, you want to make sure that you stitch the edge within the 1/4 inch seam to stay stitch it so that it won't pull apart, so that you can stabilize the edge of that quilt. But if I'm just cutting fabric for my borders, or if I'm buying fabric that I know I'm going to use as a border, I tend to buy 3 yards. So that's a great question as well, Peggy. I hope that helps. And then whatever I have left from that length, when I cut what I need, I'll add it to a pile where I'll just sew all of those pieces together and make a quilt backing from it. I'm getting more notifications up there on my iPad. So good question. Hope I answered your question. If not, Peggy, you know I can always show you at Scrap Club as well. We got Pat Moorhead here. She says hi from Chicago. Hi, Pat. Welcome to the live chat. And Jennifer was saying that she was giving away fabric bags to the thrift store. That's a good place too. Although, almost if you're just giving fabric away, I would first check and see if anybody in the quilt guilds want them, because they would most likely use it over going to generic thrift stores where we go in them, but we don't be in there like we're at in a quilt area per se. Like, I go to the thrift store every now and then to see if anything in there is quilt related, but I don't even go in there once a week. Kelly said, oh, she's talking to Diane. And, and Diane talking about T has a better fabric collection. What are you talking about? Oh, she's talking about the pen for writing on this Micron pen. My blocks came out really dark. Let me turn it this way. I actually bought this off of Amazon. If you all are shopping on Amazon, please use my store link that's listed down in the description box. I think we get like a 1% of whatever you purchase, so it's not a lot, but it just lets Amazon know that we sent people over to them. But this is the pen that I used to write on my blocks. I didn't even stabilize my block. I just wrote right on it on top of a cutting board. And my blocks are right here, just so I can show you the thickness of the text. So I'm trying to get it out of the light. Hold on. Let me turn that a little and see if that helps. But yeah, so I just wrote right onto the block, and mines are pretty good. And I didn't do, anything super fancy. I didn't use freezer paper to write. However, my base fabric and my white fabric and my black is Kona cotton. So it's a really nice, sturdy cotton. It's not a cheap cotton. So maybe that makes a difference as well. Let's see. Hopefully that's what you all were talking about. And Diane was saying that's why she also got an extra pen. Angela says your nephew, so he can stop messing with your stuff. Oh, okay. Get him a job. Betty says she's talking to Jennifer. Go to the internet and get him some Black Panther coloring books and have him color, and then have him try to do some paper piecing on that. That'd be a pretty good idea. Maybe I need to do that. Maybe instead of going on the internet, I'll go to the dollar store, and whatever the dollar store has, just get him some box of crayons and some coloring books. That'd be even cheaper. And it's right by the thrift store. I don't know where you all are still talking about this pregnancy stuff, talking about Abraham in his 80s and Sarah was somewhere in that range. Hey, miracles do happen. It will not happen in St. Louis, Missouri. I can tell you that. Not at this house. Kelly says, I thought I'll just try one size larger pen, hoping I won't have to go over the writing multiple times. And like I said, I love the 05 Micron by Sakura. I love this pen, and this is the one I use all the time. The thicker ones I use when I'm mostly coloring in, but I have even used I've used 05, 02. I've even used like 03, but 05 is my favorite if I'm writing, especially making labels. But if I'm writing on a small label, I will go down and use some of the smaller numbers. Joyce is reminding everybody to hit the thumbs up button. Again, if you've got any quilt related questions, you can pop them into the chat box. I will be reading those. We got another 15 minutes or so to be live. So I'll be answering questions because I'm done with my agenda for today. Nisi Maz here says, hey, T and everyone. Welcome to the chat. And Mary says, Drats, I keep buffering. I don't see myself buffering on my phone, so try to go out and hit refresh and come back. Adrian Riaz is here, says hello to everyone. Virgie says, I think there's confusion over the size of pen to use. Sounds like you know the difference, Kelly A. Druid Godmother says, good evening. I think it would be a great time to make your nephew his own little sewing box and some scraps. There are probably plastic needles somewhere if he's too little to use real tools. What if he's a quilter in the making? He's not messing with the quilting stuff. He's messing with my paper crafting stuff, which could be dyes, which could be dangerous. And because dyes, even the metal dyes, if you press them too hard in your hand, they will give you cuts. So he's messing with things that could be dangerous. And so, yeah, that's where we are. But I will try to get the coloring book and crayons for him, though. That's a good idea. What if he's a quilter in the making? Right now he's not messing with the quilting stuff. He just saw the machine moving, and that's all he was interested in, was the fact that the machine was moving by itself. So, but he's never touched any of the fabric or anything like that. He's mostly interested in the paper crafting supplies, and that's partly because that's what he sits around. Since I'm working on paper crafting stuff, that's where he's sitting, and so he sees that. So let's see. I must have missed something. I don't know. I'm going to keep reading. If I missed your comment, just pop it back down in the chat box, please. Seems like Vicky's not feeling well. Hope you feel better. Peggy says, thanks, T. I'm going to try to cut tonight. Okay, well, that's great. I'm glad I answered your question. Pat says, I love micron pens. I started using them at first on cloth face dowels, on cloth dowel faces. Yes, and I have been using, I just happened to luck up into one of the art supply stores and found these pens like eons ago. I've been quilting since 1994, and I found these early in my quilting, and this is just the one that I have stuck with, and it has been around time after time. And I have done reviews on other pens, and some pens work, but I have not written or like done extensive coloring with those pens to know if they're gonna hold up for me to write my name on blocks 50 times. Like I said, this is a used pen. I didn't go out and buy a new one, and I've had this one in my stash for years, and it still wrote on all 50 of my blocks. I did not run out of ink. I will stand by the Sakura pens, these Micron, and I love the 05. I don't know how much the pen costs, because when I buy my pens, I buy them in either sets where I get different sizes. That's a question from Tiffany. Or I buy like a package of the same size, and I just go to Amazon and I Google the pens, and then I just pick whatever I want to purchase from that. Let's see. And Kelly is asking me, did you use Micron 0.05 or 08? I use 0.05 right here. Again, I'll show it again. This is the pen. And it's real tiny to see that. It's not going to zoom in on this little thing here. That's where the Sakura is. S-A-K-U-R-A. But it's real little. It's not going to zoom in that tiny, especially with me holding it in my hand. Diane says that she also bought Kona cotton. So yes, that pen will glide right over your Kona cotton. I didn't have any problems. Now, it's not like you're going to write on paper. You got to do one line, lift your pen, go to the next line, lift your pen, and then hit the next line. But I didn't have to use freezer paper. It didn't bleed through onto my cutting surface or any of that. I didn't have any of that, and I didn't have to go through any extra steps. Let's see. Rhonda Barlow says, hello, T and everyone. Sounds like nephew could use his own toolbox and supplies. He's a budding fiber artist. He's a budding artist of some kind. It's probably going to be a colorist if I've got to buy it. Cindy Hill says, hi, new to your channel. Welcome, Cindy. Appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate you commenting in the chat box. If you're new to the channel, again, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I do upload a mixture of videos just for you all to know. I do quilting related videos for the most part. I go to quilt shows. I give you reviews of quilt shows like those in Paducah. I also record our local shows. I sometimes, and I am going this year to Houston. What else? I do quilting retreat videos. I go on a lot of retreats, and so I do record those as well, share them with you all. I do quilting related videos where I'm showing you how to piece or giving you tips or product reviews. And I also do paper crafting. I make t-shirts. My business profession is that I am a Longarm quilter, as well as a person that does lectures and workshops for quilting guilds. And I do travel for those as well. Just want to make sure people know where you're coming. And I got so many videos up on so many different topics that if you're looking for something in particular, just put in Teaquilts in the YouTube search box. I don't know what's wrong with me. I think I'm hungry. Put in the YouTube search box Teaquilts, and then whatever subject you're looking for. Like if you're looking for string quilts, Teaquilts, string quilts, and it'll bring up all of my string quilt videos. I have crumb quilts. I got stack and whack videos with how to pick your fabrics, what fabrics will work, what fabrics will not work, because that's important too, as well as how to cut and piece. So it's a lot of information out there. I'm laughing at Diane 57's comment. Mary wants to know, T, when did you learn to quilt? I learned to quilt in 1994. I had been sewing since 1986. I thought that quilting was so hard, so I started out with sewing. Let me get off of this holder before it falls and hit me in the back of my head. But I actually got into quilt making by accident. I was actually in the sewing store, and I went in and they had a free pattern for 2 quilt blocks. It was July of 1994, and they were doing 2 blocks a month for a Christmas quilt. And by the time you got your 12th block, you would have been in the month of December, and you were going to get the last 2 blocks. By the end of December, I had that, well, no, by the end, because I had that quilt hanging on my wall for Christmas. And so I probably say within a week and a half, I had that quilt completed in 1994 and hanging on my wall. So who taught me how to quilt? I'm basically self-taught. I came from the sewing industry, didn't even know that they had all of the quilting, quilt shops, quilt stores, because I got a free pattern at a regular sewing store, not an actual quilting shop. So I am basically self-taught. I have taken when I first started, I took 2 classes. One was an intermediate class, and another one was learning how to do Borgello. And then after that, I was hooked and was gone. And I've been rolling with quilting ever since. And I still now, I might take a class just so I can go and enjoy sewing with other people. So I will take a class every here and there, especially if it's a topic I'm really interested in. But basically a self-taught quilter. Hey T, this is from Kevin. What is your absolute favorite type of fabric ever made? And it's so funny. It's actually Fossil Ferns by Benartex. When that fabric came out, I made a vest. It was one of those type of vests that detached at the shoulder, and you also reversed it. You could flip it around. And when you made the combination of the vest front and back, and you made them with different fabrics, you could rotate them, and you could have like, I don't know, 40 or 50 something different combinations of how you can wear this vest. But I just love Fossil Ferns, and I've been holding on to Fossil Ferns for many years and have not used them in any quilts. I just love them. I'm a collector of them. And then it was so funny that they brought that line back out a few years back. And I'm not sure if it's still out now, but I actually love the fossil fern line. Before that, um, we were really into quilt making. If you wanted a solid, it was just a solid fabric. They didn't have those tone on tone type things. So before fossil ferns, I actually liked Patrick Luce marble fabric. So that was my favorite up until the fossil ferns came out. Let's see. Virgie says, how many people have turned in their blocks, and there's still 50 people on the list? I think there's more than 50 people on the list. I have told people, if you just want to participate, to send your blocks in. I also sent a note out to the people that are attending retreat, telling them that if they wanted to participate in the block swap, that they're more than welcome to do so. So I really don't know how many people are going to participate, but all blocks should be turned in by May 31st, so that's when I'll know. I have not received any blocks in the last 2 weeks, so I think we're still at number 11 if my memory is correct, but that also means we need to take one out because Kevin is number 2. He's just number 2 in line, and he hasn't turned his blocks in yet. So I'd say 10 people have turned their blocks in. Susan says 15 minutes left. I suppose I'd better say hello quick before y'all leave me laughing out loud. Hi, Susan. Welcome. That is funny. Joan Elkin says you could use sewing cards, punch holes in cardstocks. In cardstock. You know what? I don't want to do a whole lot because I'm not interested right now. I'm too busy. You all forget that I'm one person. I'm very busy. I'm trying to do YouTube videos. I'm trying to edit videos. I'm trying to sew on my Longarm machine. That's why I got the computerized system on it. And then I also have to do my desk work. I got to package stuff. I got to take it to the post office. Right now, I know it sounds like selfish and I should probably teach him some of this stuff, but I'm not interested in that right now. I got too much to do. And I got to do taxes that I haven't done. And my mom's birthday is next week. And that's the other thing I forgot to tell you. My mom's birthday is next week, and I want to take her out for the day. And then in addition to that, I've also got hired to make that famous pound cake. I had one of my sister's friends must have tasted pound cake at one of our family functions, and she's having a big birthday party and wanted me to make a full sheet cake of this pound cake with caramel icing. So yeah, and that's got to be done by this Friday, and I haven't even bought the supplies for that. So I'm just too busy. I don't have time. When I did this for my niece, she notified me like in January, asked me if I could do it. They were home for Christmas break. She didn't ask me the whole time before that. She just kind of asked me when it was time for him to go to school the next day. And so I have been doing this, and so I have not made any plans of anything to do with him because my life is busy. I'm planning 2 retreats. I had a retreat that I just went to. Plus, I am physically planning 2 retreats. I planned the So Busy Quilt Guild retreat that's due in May. And I also am planning the Teaquilts retreat this year in June. So I'm just busy. I just don't have a whole lot of time to go into that. I try to make sure that he gets some of his homework done. I try to keep him busy with that a little bit. But, yeah, I only got so many minutes in a day, guys. And I do have to get some sleep. Druid Godmother says, sure, I understand that your tools are dangerous. I thought he might just be showing interest. Cheryl Clute is here saying, hello, better late than never. Welcome. And Susan says, getting a kick out of listening to your quiet nephew. Yes, honey. And he is no trouble, like, to watch or anything. It's not like he's doing anything, but like I said, some of the stuff could be dangerous. I got box cutters, I got X-Acto blades, I got scissors with more pointed tips than he think they are. I got dies, from die cuts, and he has learned. He's fascinated with my dies because when I did the scrapbooking stuff, he made bears, and so he knows that I have dies that he can piece stuff with. And so maybe at some point what I'll do is I'll just cut some pieces of different things that he can paper piece and just give him some glue and just let him glue on top of a piece of freezer paper so he can use it as a protective surface. But he did really well with it. It's just that when he's not here, I don't think about that kind of stuff. And then when he's here, I'm kind of busy doing something else that I can't really get heavy into that right then. Then I have to pull all that stuff out with all the other stuff I got out. Like all of this is from me working on the binders. And I need so many of these books that it's ridiculous. I don't even want to count. And I don't even know if I'm even going to make my goal. And yeah, and I'll tell you, I don't know if I mentioned it in the previous live, but I'm actually making these albums because my Teaquilts Scrap Quilting Club turned 10 years old this month in the month of March. And we're actually having a party at the end of March. Now, I don't know if these books are going to be ready for March, but I normally give them a gift every year in November. And I'm thinking that I'm trying to get these books ready so that I can give to them in November. But if I get the majority of them done in March, then I might give them out then. But I also just today learned of another job prospect that's not something that I'll make money off of, but it was something that will get my name out there. And so that's a prospect of something that's got to be done before the end of March. So it's so many things going on, so much that I'm involved in. I just don't have time to really like 100% babysit. And I thought it would be okay because he's in 3rd grade and it's not like I have to do anything major. I make sure that he knows how to get his after school snack, that kind of stuff. But I'm finding that I've got to like double check on him numerous times to make sure that he's not doing what he shouldn't be doing. And it's just like any normal kid. If they're left alone and they see all of this stuff, they're going to be curious about it. So, Angela says, I took a Fierce Ladies House class this weekend, period, and they told me to sew a scant 1/4 inch. All I've ever done is 1/4 inch seam. How much is a true scant 1/4 inch? A true scant 1/4 inch is about 1 to 2 thread counts short of a 1/4 inch, if you want to know. When do I use a scant 1/4 inch? When I've got a block that's got 50 pieces or more or something like that. I'm just not necessarily or more. But it would be like your 5440 or fight block. Blocks that have a lot of different piecing and angles that all come in together. If I was making a 9-patch block, would I sew a scant 1/4 inch seam? No. If I'm sewing with jelly roll strips, I don't. I just sew. If you know your 1/4 inch seam and you're comfortable with your 1/4 inch seams, your blocks are coming out to the right size, then don't worry about the scant 1/4 inch unless you have a lot of seams in one block. But a scant 1/4 inch seam, to answer your question again, is 1 to 2 thread counts short of your 1/4 inch seam. Beverly is saying goodnight. It's after 8 o'clock, guys, and y'all still got stuff in the comment box. Oh my gosh, you all were really commenting. I'm going to the bottom. I'm going to go to the bottom this time because some of the people at the bottom, their comments never get answered. Susan says, I love boundless fabric too. Cheryl says, I have to check with my 12-year-old. There's never a dull moment with kids. You got that right. Kelly A says, oh, I just looked up a Boundless Blenders Botanical. Gorgeous. Somebody is giving giving fabric tips to buy. Uh-oh. And June says, laughing out loud at Angela, that just keeps setting her off. So maybe we shouldn't be watching him. You got that right. You'll have to either put a blindfold on your nephew so he can't see all your stuff, or put boxing gloves on so he can't touch anything. Now that's pretty good. I love that, Susan. And Angela's saying, just play cowboys and Indians with him. And what is it? Wait a minute. And he can't, wait a minute. I'm going to the wrong one. And tie him up in a corner and he'll be happy. That is too funny. And he's 8. He's third grade. I don't know how old third grade, 8 or 9. And Eric's drooling over pound cake, I take it. Uh-oh, Michael's in here. He says, you need to retreat to my house and cook your great food for me. Oh my God. We got you into the Teaquilts live? Oh my goodness. Kelly says, hopefully you'll get everyone's blocks before May 31st so you'll be able to sort them during your retreat when you'll have table space to do it. Yes, I'm hoping I get them all in. And people are talking about yummy pound cake. Mary is asking, are your retreats in St. Louis? The first retreat I had 2 years ago, I do it every other year because it is a lot of planning. It was held in Hamilton, Missouri, which is where Missouri Star is. But we only had, let me see, you had Claudette and Jennifer Mizard are the only 2 people that came that I did not know at all. I did have 2 other people that came from Ohio, but they used to be St. Louisans, but they moved to Ohio. So technically I knew those ladies, and then I had one lady from my quilt guild. That's 5. And then I had my friend Sarah, who I see often. That was 6. And I was number 7. We only had 7 people show up. And I had promises of a lot more people showing up. But when that retreat did not get as many people as I thought it would get, I decided I was not going to go clear across the state anymore because that was a 5-hour drive for me to go plan a retreat in an area that I didn't know. So I decided this second retreat would be in the St. Louis area. So will all retreats be in the St. Louis area? I would probably like it to be so, but if I get enough people that 100% will put their money where their mouth is and come to a retreat that's in Hamilton, then I will schedule another retreat in Hamilton. But I need to have money in hand before I would even commit to that. So right now, all of the Teaquilts retreats will be in St. Louis unless people are asking for it in particular. But I didn't mind doing it in Hamilton, Missouri. It was just a little bit more inconvenient because of they don't have an airport close to them. So the airport was like a 45-minute highway drive away. So when I had to pick up Claudette, I had to go out of my way to go pick her up. And I didn't mind that. But if I've got 10 people coming into that Kansas City airport, it's going to be difficult for me to figure out how you all are going to get from the airport because I don't think Ubers go that far, especially out in that area. And I'm not sure they didn't have any airport transportation or hotel transportation to or from Hamilton, Missouri. So, yep. But we're going to end up ending here. And then Mike's here. He's still talking. I didn't even know he was in the room. He says, T off topic, but Abby wants you here for dinner. I just bet you want me to bring dinner. You are too funny. I didn't even cook today. I'm eating, what is that? Panda Express, soon as I get off of here. So, Diane is saying the Boundless Blenders, Botanicals are my favorite. Ooh, Kevin, better get with it. And I don't know what that is, but that's just been one of my favorite collections that I've had for years. And I have not, like, really hoarded any fabric, but I've been hoarding my fossil ferns. Linda DeVito came in. Regina Connor says, the bags I found at Target and Walmart to somebody. I don't know. I'm just trying to give people shout-outs. But I tell you what. We're going to end it right here because we are at 8:07 and I'm going to go ahead and end it. I just wanted to go down and read some of the comments at the bottom since I always end and don't know what happened down at the bottom of my chat. Thank you all so much for coming. I appreciate it. Please come back next week, see what we got going. If I don't have an agenda, I can see by the chat that you all have agendas. My new people, and especially those that are new to quilting, if you have any quilt related questions, please jot them down so you don't forget. Come back and share them with us next week and see if we can give you some assistance. We don't mind helping newbies here on this channel. All of my videos are geared towards somebody that's a beginner as well as an advanced quilter. So thank you all so much for watching. I see you all are already doing your good nights. Good night, everybody. See you next week, and stay blessed.